And Vladimir, I'd like to ask you the same question and what you hear from your colleagues in the territorial defense forces. One of the issues in these negotiations, it's reported, is a future neutral status for Ukraine. Would would you and your people fighting with you in the territorial defense forces be willing to accept that status, or would that seem to you like a capitulation?
I'm not representing any office, so I don't have any office behind me. I'm not a politician, and that's why I'm just going to tell you what I think, and probably most of the people think. And I agree with the position of the mayor in this case. Russian army, Russian boots, Russian military equipment needs to leave Ukraine now. Period. Our integrity, our borders, serenity of our borders must be remain as it was signed when we gave up the nukes and signed this agreement with Russia. One of the countries was Russia that signed it. So it just must go back to the country that we actually had 21 days ago, before the war started. We were fighting since 2014, and back then President Yanukovych fled the country to Russia. We were fighting for association with European Union, with European principles, democratic principles. And that decision has made the people that live in Ukraine. We've made this decision. We look for it. We're going to fight for it. We've been fighting for it. We're a free nation, and we're going to decide how we want to live. And everything else is just internal interests of Russia and propaganda. If NATO would have been interested in invading Soviet Union, then after Soviet Union broke apart, that probably would have been happening. And now it's just the fairy tale, a negative one, that is explained by the Russian Federation to its own people in their own country to justify the regime that they have in Russia. So let's find an enemy out there and let's fight this enemy, and pointing with the finger and say, this is bad guys, let's fight them, and not pay attention to what is actually happening in the country with corruption and everything else. So we understand where Russia is coming from. We understand the history. We understand who is leading the country. We understand why things like that is happening. But what we don't understand, the reckless mind, the madman's mind to go and invade a country after Second World War, and I'm going to draw new borders, and I'm going to decide what belongs to me, and I'm going to tell everyone how to live. This is not 2022. This is the man from the past, a madman from the past. If you think about the modern world where someone like Elon Musk is trying to create some new source of communication with a Starlink, or create new energy, and think about the world's population and how we can make our life better, and everything what is happening right now is just from the past, and it's going to pass. I'm sure evolution never stopped. And what is happening right now, it's the biggest mistake that Russia has started. The biggest mistake. And I think because of this mistake, it's going to change our life and life of Russia, as 9/11 has changed our life. This war that happened in Ukraine is going to cost Russia a lot. How much is going to be? We'll see. But it's something, it's like cancer that got into the body of Russia and is going to eat from inside out. This war shouldn't be started. And this war must come to an end sooner than later.